Ever wonder what it's like to work with Jeff and Jeremy?
Why are you so cranky?
It's early. Let's be real with people.
Let's
okay?
be real.
Work with them at home on demand by subscribing to Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning, wherever you get your podcasts. All the benefits of working with them, with none of the smell. Oh, somebody light a match. Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning on 93.3 KZOZ.
Who's your overplayed Fitzmagic sounder? I mean, that guy had a game last night.
Yeah, I don't know where it's at. It'd take me 5 minutes.
Do you want me to sing it? Oh, Fitzmagic. I know.
Boy, I tell you what, they built this game to be, every time they build this game to be something, it never delivers. It never delivers.
Well, now, it's so funny. They build the game to be something, and it's two teams that aren't going to go to the playoffs. That's the funny part to me.
Yeah, so
it's like, oh yeah, this game, they're evenly matched, and they were on paper evenly matched. Obviously, Miami was a lot better last night than the Jacksonville Jaguars. But that's what you get. Thursday night football, right? Miami's and
everybody was excited about this game. Normally Thursday night football is not that exciting, and I was excited about it. I even gave you credit. It was not the coming out party for Laviska Shenault. As a matter of fact,
Did you think it was going to be? They did a big expose on him yesterday morning on the NFL Network.
On the NFL Network.
And that's what happens. Whenever they do a big expose and do the story behind the player, that player's going to be crap that night.
Now, I already had him. I was already going to play him because I just thought it was a good matchup, and I thought, with Chark being down, that this would be a good play. But then the expose and his dad and the story, and boy, I got suckered in. I got
suckered in too with Chark being down. I went ahead and played Keelan Cole. I was going to ride my bench this weekend, but then Chark was out, and I was like, oh, this game's supposed to be Jaguars, high scoring affair, Jaguars by a few points. And then I guess the guy that let us down is
Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew, yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's all his fault. I thought the line looked terrible last night.
Didn't look good.
They gave him no protection. But then the problem is he compiled that by making very bad decisions and throwing interceptions and making bad throws that he shouldn't have made. He had one interception that was overturned because the ball touched the ground. It was just ugly. But 85% of the nation in the red zone picked Jacksonville to win. So if you picked Miami, if you were part of that 15%, then you are on your way.
Hands up.
You are on your way to maybe
on
a
your way
week
right
3
here
win.
With me. Get behind me, my friends. I picked the Fins last night. That's right, baby.
You picked the beard.
Fitzmagic.
The beard over the mustache.
I thought it was very hard for a team that did so well against Buffalo the week before to not be able to ride that momentum into at least the first half of last night's game and go 0-3 on the season. It looks like they're kind of figuring things out in Miami, which is good. I mean, it's like my second or third favorite franchise in the NFL, or fourth. I like the Jaguars. I like the Dolphins.
Why
like the Chargers.
Why have you always been a Miami fan? Is it Marino? Is this
it was as a kid. I was a huge Marino fan.
What was it about Dan Marino that drew you?
He's the best quarterback that ever played.
I mean, there was a lot of great quarterbacks when he played, right? I mean, also
his touch on the long ball was just amazing. Clayton Duper hitting him down the sidelines. I mean, that was.
You were a Seattle Seahawks fan, and it wasn't Dave Craig?
No, his touch was terrible.
I think he had the most fumbles of any quarterback.
He had the smallest hands.
Tiny little fingers.
Yeah,
he had little hands.
Yeah, it was like if you asked Donald Trump to play quarterback for your football team in the NFL. That was Dave Craig because he had small hands.
So, anyways, there's the it's in the books.
You are fake news.
Yes. No, I'm being serious. I mean, even Marco Rubio pointed it out. Okay.
Did he really?
Yeah,
in one of the debates?
In the campaign, yeah. 2016. How soon we forget, right?
I guess so.
Remember? Marco Rubio said, you know what they say about guys with short hands.
There it is.
It's magic. Loving it.
I'm glad for him last night. I think he was really annoyed about the beard and the mustache conversation. He was asked
so many times
about the beard, and he's like, listen, all right, this kid, yeah, he's got a mustache, he's cool, but is he a good football player? You could just see all this in his, but he didn't say it. He held back.
Well, it was kind of annoying line of questioning. Okay, NFL Network, we get it. There was a blowout on, and there's just nothing else to talk about. So you're going to still ride this beard versus mustache storyline into the post-game show? There was a game that just took place. My team just won by nearly 20 points, and you're going to ask me about my beard still and my shirt? Come on. I watched the post-game show.
I did not. I turned the game off after that final reception or the last interception I saw.
Chris Conley runs horrible routes. I don't know if that's all issue.
So I know that you just left Templeton, and after what happened yesterday, are you glad that you left Templeton?
Well, it wasn't near my house, so I would have been fine. I would have been safe.
It's pretty wild to think these shootings keep happening in that area. I mean, there's been 2 shootings there in the last year. Of course, the one guy really was Paso, right? And he came down.
But then it ended up there, yeah.
It ended up there.
Yeah, it's that Jesse James influence from the days of Peyton gone by.
I'm excited to have this guy back on the phone with us. Unfortunately, we can't have anybody in studio, so JW is from the California Highway Patrol is going to join us on the telephone today. Hey, J-Dubs, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, good morning. What y'all doing?
We're just sitting here. It's pretty crazy to think that one stretch of road on Ramada has had. I mean, we don't even have shootings around here, right? How long have you been working in San Luis Obispo?
Oh, better part of 20 years.
And how many officer-involved shootings are there? There's been 3 in the last year. Isn't that crazy?
3 in the last year. Usually they don't happen very often, though.
First and foremost, did you get any information on the officer that was shot? Is he okay?
I believe he was shot in the leg and the lower extremity. I think he's going to be fine. I know him. He's a great guy, and he stays in great shape. So I think that's definitely going to help him out. And so wish him the best. And I think if it had to happen, I think that somebody who like him who keeps himself in good physical shape, and I think he's going to be just fine.
Now, was it? It wasn't a fellow CHP officer, was it, or was it?
No, sheriff's deputy.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I'm working around here. You know a lot of these guys. And,
right.
As a matter of fact, we live close to each other, and I saw him running just the other day.
What?
If it's I don't know for sure, but I think that's who it was.
What happens in a situation like that when it regards the CHP? I mean, it's happening on the frontage road, right next to the freeway. I mean, I got to think, and it's right down the street from both the sheriff's office and the CHP. In that instance, what level of engagement does the CHP have? We figure that the sheriff's office has quite a bit of engagement, or is it just a joint effort to take down the perp in that one?
Well, they put out a call for help, so just like we would. So everybody rolls until you figure it out.
Yeah. And then, of course, there was an accident on the 101, which was not really tied into this, but was that looky-loos? Just people kind of looking to see what happened, and then that caused that accident?
I believe from talking and briefing and listening that either some other officers that were responding were in the area trying to get to it, and traffic starts to back up. I think maybe the tractor trailer driver saw things happening, and then traffic in front of him stopping awfully quick, so he slammed on his brakes. And I'm not sure if he hit anybody or if it just came close, just jackknifed the truck and had to be moved. I'm not sure what happened in that instance. I don't believe anybody was injured though in the collision, if there was one.
When a semi jackknifes, what is the resolution to that? Like, how do you unjackknife it and get it on its way?
Tow truck.
Well,
probably.
If you can't move it, you got to get a tow truck big enough to you got to take the tractor apart from the trailer, disconnect the air brakes, and they got to drop the drive line and the tractor just to move it because the brakes lock up. It could take a while. So
You know, I got to be honest. I've been thinking a lot about you. I've texted you. We're friends. You know, we became friends as you've become on the show. We've hung out socially. We've camped, all that kind of stuff. And you know, I've been kind of thinking about how are you going through day to day with everything that's going on in the world, and what kind of how have you been treated during this whole past 6 months?
You know, a lot of things have changed. You know, of course, everybody sees news or through social media, through normal news channels, or whatever you're reading it. It's definitely weird times. I think in some instances people have gotten closer. We live in a small community, and I've seen some really good things come about this. People working together, and wanting to create more of a unity type environment for us around here. But you also see the negative aspects of it too, and other things have happened that you normally wouldn't see, or you don't see very often. I've seen more, so it's kind of a mixed bag of things. It's definitely it's a hard time in the country, in the area, and we just got to work together and figure out a way to get this working.
How many times over the last few months have you thought to yourself, "Man, I'm thankful that I live in San Luis Obispo and not a metropolitan area"?
Oh yeah, I mean, I just you think about that a lot, because those like Portland, Seattle, the big cities, those officers, they're working a lot. They're dealing with a lot, and you got to understand they're human, and they're going to be just the mental part of it. Working that many days in a row, 100 days in a row, 120 days in a row. Not getting a break from work, or not seeing your family or friends very often, and dealing with that negativity that they're dealing with. It's got to take a toll on them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a constant, day in, day out.
Yeah.
Every day, you put on the gear, and you really don't have much to look forward to, especially in what you mentioned with Portland and Seattle. I mean, come on.
You have nothing. I mean, you know what's in store for you. And there's really no positive side of it from their side, unless it's peaceful for that day. And that's there's nothing wrong with peaceful protest. Jeremy and I, we talked a lot yesterday afternoon, and there's nothing wrong with peaceful protest. That's what the Constitution protects you in that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just when the violence occurs and innocent people are being injured, and businesses are being, targeted or looted, that's whenever it's wrong,
Yeah, I know. Communication seems to be the downfall here, that it's not happening, and we need a breakthrough in communication. And I mean, coming from what you do for a living, from you personally, or what as far as the police officer goes, what do you want? What do you want people to know? I mean, what should we be communicating here to people? Because I just feel like with social media, which is a form of communication, it's like the worst form, because you feel like you only get the negative side of things.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. If you watch just regular news or a lot of social media, and depending on what you're following, all you're seeing is the negative. So there's a lot of positive things that are coming out of this. People are working together. People are becoming closer. Communities are getting closer. They're working, together to figure out how to make their communities better. How to make people happier, more comfortable. Different programs and ways to work together. So I don't think you see that. I don't, and there's a lot of that happening around here.
Yeah, I think you went away from the mouthpiece. We can't understand you very well.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. No, I think people want positive change. I think we're seeing that a lot around here with a lot of things. But there is some negative aspects of what's happening as well, as far as the violence and some of the hate. You can't fight hate with hate. You have to fight it with love and respect, and you have to figure out a different way to combat that hate, because otherwise you're just fighting each other and you can't win.
Well, JW, thank you for joining us. It's been a long time. It's good to catch up with a long lost friend.
Yeah, I've talked to both of you. I mean, throughout this time, it does stink. I hate being missing. It's been 5-6 months since we've been able to come in there and chit chat and take some calls. And
I said to Jeremy this morning, I said, why don't we just have him come in, and then we'll apologize to the powers that be later on. And Jeremy, be like, oops, sorry, forgot, or something along those lines.
Yeah, that doesn't work here.
And
we have to take our temperature when we walk in the door and document it all down. And if you don't, like there was an employee here who 2 days in a row forgot to take his temperature when he got here and was scolded because he didn't take it. And then later on, he remembered like an hour later. And no, that's not this place. Our company that we work for is being so serious and taking this so serious. They don't want any kind of gray area. Yeah, I would like to have. I miss having you in too, man.
Yeah, and I understand. I mean, then you go to the hospital to check on people from accidents or there's things at your work, and you have to have your temperature taken, and you got to wash your hands and you got to put a mask on, and it's just taking precautions. You have to be respectful and understand that it is a pandemic, and whenever they allow me to come back in there, I'll be in there for sure to talk to everybody because it's a great way for us to communicate with not only with each other but also to talk to everybody that's listening and let them see what we're doing and the positive things that we're trying to do not only as a department but as a culture.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Well, stay safe out there. Have a good day and a nice weekend.
All right, brother. Y'all have a good day. Take care.
When's the last time you had lobster, Jeremy?
Oh, man. I want to say, when's the last time we played golf?
June.
Was it June? I had it in June.
You had it on the golf course? That's an odd snack.
No, I had a hot dog on the golf course. It was a great hot dog.
Lobster dog.
But I did, I went to one of my favorite places to go, Yanagi's at the tap-in table where they cook in front of you, and you get 2 lobster tails for $60. I think that's a pretty good deal. And so that's what I had.
Do you get other things with the lobster tails?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You get vegetables and the best fried rice I've ever had in my entire life. You get soup. You get salad. You get, miso soup.
Is it pork fried rice?
It is just a vegetable fried rice.
Oh, why?
With eggs in it. Yeah.
Seriously?
No, it's the best fried rice ever.
Why
you don't need pork. You don't even need the pork. It's that good. It's better than any pork fried rice you've ever had. I promise you.
No.
It is so good.
It's vegetable.
No. Well, there's vegetables in all fried rice.
Yeah, I understand that, but there's no pork in just vegetable fried rice, which makes vegetable fried rice the worst variety of any fried rice.
No. The flavor is so good.
Was your wife there with you?
There's enough butter in there just to make you happy.
Was your wife there with you?
Yes, of course she was there. She goes everywhere with me.
That's why you got the vegetables.
No.
See, honey, I'm eating healthy here.
No, you don't understand. Okay, when you go to this place, you don't get to pick what kind of fried rice you have. He makes it for the whole table. Everybody, you either get steamed rice or you get a little extra to get the fried rice, and it never has meat.
Cut the corner on the lobster tails, and everybody ends up with vegetable fried rice. See, I see how it is.
But I tell you, they do a good job with lobster.
Why not pork? Why not pork fried rice? That's the best fried rice. They don't
do pork fried rice there.
Oh.
It's a Japanese place. It's not Chinese food.
Oh, I get it. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Why don't they like pork in Japan?
I don't know. You're asking me
questions. Because pork fried rice is the best fried rice. Pork fried rice any day over any other kind of fried rice.
Now, if I'm at a Chinese restaurant, yes, I always order the pork fried rice. Or unless it's shrimp. Sometimes I do shrimp fried rice.
Today is National Lobster Day. So Jeremy's going to go out and get 2 lobster tails and eat them as a snack on a golf course. We were asking you, when is the last time you had lobster? Jeremy's had it sometime within the last 6 months. You have yet to answer the poll question then, I see, because nobody has answered sometime within the last 6 months.
I didn't even know this was up.
Yes. Within the last month, 16% of you saying within the last month, 33% saying it's been over a year, 16% of people on this poll saying they've never had lobster.
Really? Never?
Never. I've had it once in the past decade. I've not even...
You don't like seafood?
I don't like lobster. If I'm giving a choice for crab and lobster, I always go crab, and it's always Dungeness.
You know, it's all about the mood, but sometimes I go crab over lobster too. Lobster's just a little bit chewier, but there's so much more work involved in crab.
It's more tendony. Yes, I know. It's nice lobster. They put it on top of the tail for you. You just eat it.
Yeah. But the problem is, usually when I eat crab, I'm in a situation where I can have a lot of crab.
Yeah.
And so, lobster, you don't get as much.
You know how long it takes me to eat crab? Oh, amazingly long.
I've been there with you. Hours. We were at a crab feed once, and I remember everybody was done. They cleaned up the table, and Jeff's still sitting there. And Jeff's the guy that puts all the crab in a pile.
Yeah, and I take like 5 big bites of crab, and
everybody's
I'm done.
ate. They've had their dessert. Jeff hasn't even ate his crab yet because he's still making a pile.
I can't stand the concept and the notion of picking little pieces of meat out of crab and putting them in your mouth as you go along. I want to take a lot of crab, put it on a fork, and put it in the butter, then put it in my mouth.
I think you get full faster if you eat it as you go.
I understand that.
I mean, not full faster. I'm just saying. I just think
I literally, when I sit down to eat crab, it's a good 45 minutes before I take my first bite.
Why don't you just go to the store and buy it out of a can then and open it up and put it in a bowl, melt some butter on it?
It doesn't taste the same. It's better when it's fresh.
Taste it.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't taste the same. I can't eat crab out of a can. It doesn't taste the same.
I don't like any of the sauces that they make for crab or lobster. Just butter. Just butter.
Just butter.
That's it.
Salted butter.
Salted butter. It's got to be salted. Yeah, for sure. So today's lobster day, huh?
Mm-hmm. You're gonna imbibe?
No, probably not.
Any local lobster joints have any deals on the? I guess you on
lobster. I don't know. I mean,
2 tails for $60.
I think it's a pretty good deal. You can get steak and lobster there for about the same price. You can get 2 tails. It all depends. If
Can't get pork steak there though, can you?
Pork steak? Why would you ever order that?
It's called a pork chop.
Touching hands.
No, don't do that.
I wanna hold your hand.
Also a bad idea. Probably shouldn't travel either.
I got a fever of a
See what happens? A public service from Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.